Another episode of Stand Up, Sit Down. On today's show, I got the hilarious, the talented, the New Yorker, Nick Carthan.
What's up, y'all?
Stay tuned.
What's up?
You are now tuned in to Black Hollywood Live. Stand up, sit down.
Woo! Feel that. Feel that. That's like you get the box of macaroni, you want to pick up the top, pour it in the bowl, you hit the grass, you want to cook it up. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy, but you can put it on YouTube and make it like you're doing something, you know? Show up for the gram.
Man.
What's going on, brother?
How are you, man?
I'm alright, man.
Yeah, you know, like this song, because this is Meek Mill. What is it?
Young Black America?
Young Black America. And this is off the new
The
album.
Wins and Losses. This album right here is a dope album, man. For everything that I went through this year, the last 2 years, this album is great.
This album was speaking to you, huh?
It spoke to me.
Okay.
This album spoke. Everything came at the right time. This album, Kevin Hart's book, right? Just all hit at the same time. Dope.
Yeah, because of what that was. Last time, because we talked about this briefly before we started, but I'm trying to get, like, the last time, like, I physically saw you, I think, was when you were on the show. I think that's the last time I actually physically. No. Unless I think I was at a show at Flappers that you did the competition.
The competition.
Yeah. That's the last time I saw you in person.
That was 2 years ago.
Fuck. Okay, so then
That was a year and a half ago.
On the show, then.
It was on the show.
That was last time I saw you.
That's when it was all wins.
Yeah.
That's when it was all wins,
Yeah,
man. It was
yeah.
all wins.
So, life has happened.
A lot of losses.
You know, and so okay, so let's kind of, because there's a lot to talk about, and so if you guys don't know Nick, like I've known you for what, like a few years now.
A few years now,
right?
For years.
And so, you know, Nick is a brilliant stand-up. He's a father, and I know, like, a lot of his comedy came from the kids and the family, you know. So now you're at an interesting point in life. So let me ask you this: has everything that has happened, and we'll try and give you as much as we can, has everything that has happened, has it changed your comedy, or are you still kind of doing the same things?
My comedy, it's amazing. It's amazing because my comedy took a full change.
Okay.
It took a full change through everything that's happened now. I find myself telling more stories than me writing jokes.
Okay.
And because what happens is now is I feel like when everything that's happened to me, when I tell people these stories, they generally just start laughing. It is not fun. It's not
really funny.
It's not really funny, but when I tell the stories, people are like, "Oh my God, you got to say that on stage." And when you hear that too much, because I was hearing that before, but like when I did the interview last time, people were just like, "Yo, I like your stuff, but man, the stuff that you tell me in the car." Like I remember I was rolling with some comedians one time. We was going to Vegas and we were drinking, and I was just talking, and people were like, "Yo, yo, forget your set, man. Like,
tell this.
Just tell this."
Yeah.
So now I think everything happened for a reason. So much has happened to me. Now I have nothing but story, but they're all learning stories. It's all learning stories because everything that happened to me was kind of like my fault.
Right.
So like now, it's just like me. I'm filming putting together a special now for myself. Okay. It's called the Hard Headed Special because it's like I had a hard head, man, and everything kind of falls into it.
Okay.
So you know.
Okay. So let's kind of just take everything kind of step by step.
Okay.
So we do our interview. Right? And then after that, something happens.
So, okay, we do our interview, right? I had just won the Flappers competition. Not the final, the mega final.
Right.
But I won the final competition.
Right.
And everything for me, I don't know about how other people looked at it, but for me, everything's just going great.
Right.
Won the Flappers competition. I got the judge vote. I get the what's the other vote? The club vote and the judges vote. Right. Now I'm in the Burbank Flappers Burbank Festival. I'm hosting Infusion. All of this stuff is going on.
Yeah.
Then drastically, so here's what goes on. I lose Infusion. Got the club club closes down. They don't want to do the show no more. That's
Yeah, well,
one.
and it's gone.
It's
Like
gone.
it's not even a club anymore.
It's gone.
Yeah.
I got too relaxed. BT Kingsley won the Flappers Con, which he well deserved.
Yeah.
But on my part, I was too relaxed. I remember I started inviting everybody as if I had won this thing.
Mm.
Went up there, got up there, did not come with the energy. I was too much in my head, talking to too many people. Got up there, did not do what I was supposed to do.
Right.
That happens.
Okay.
Right. Then at home for me, we just me and my ex-wife, we just had we basically things didn't work. Things don't always work out.
Right.
Right. And the best I can do for me is own up to my mistakes. I made a few mistakes on my part that I should have been. I had the chances to fix, but I didn't fix it. So what happened is so that happens, right? Leads to a separation.
Right.
Separation leads to arguments.
Right.
Separation.
Okay, let's stop there for 1 second.
Okay.
So now us in the comedy community, people, and because I don't talk to Nick all the time, right?
Yeah.
We'll text every now and again, but again, I don't talk to him all the time. And then I wanted to reach out to you, but I also am it feels like it's kind of a private matter. Let me not,
Here, so okay, I'll say this, and this is a platform to do it on. Okay, here is the situation. Okay, my ex-wife is a comedian.
Right.
I'm a comedian. Everybody knows who we are. Okay, I do know things kind of got out there, kind of got out to the web or whatever. Cool, whatever. The problem I had was people felt, not you, but people felt divided. Like people started choosing sides.
Right.
For no reason, and it was crazy. It was for no reason at all. Like people started to choose sides. Like I would be at mics. I try to show my face at mics, and I would be working my jokes out, and females would walk in there, comedians would walk in there and go, and walk out, and I'd be like, what's up? And then and then even, and I'm gonna tell you, the male comedians, like the true colors of them, like they also it was a side chosen thing.
Well, it also is a weird thing because we know both of you, we love both of you, so it's and like how Jay-Z said, nobody wins when the family feuds.
Yeah.
It's weird, so that's why I didn't want to even get it. I didn't, let me just stand back and let everything kind of, and I watched it just on social media, just kind of the evolution of what was going on, and then I kind of figured it out, and then I was like, okay, I kind of see.
It got to social media. It should have never got there, and that's why I say that. I mean, now, like I said, we have a daughter.
Right.
So
beautiful.
Thank you, man. And the best thing for her is to have a healthy, a co-parenting relationship.
Right.
We, like I said, on both sides. I'm not gonna say, but for me, mistakes were made. For me, I made a lot of mistakes. There was a lot of mistakes. I should have listened. I should have just. There was mistakes made that you have to own up to. Right. But that's in that private situation. What I got was I never understood how the people had just were man, because a lot of people didn't know what happened to me. A lot of people don't know what happened. I kind of didn't want to show my face. I was like, all right.
You kind of fell off a little bit.
I fell off.
Because you would be everywhere, and then you disappeared.
One of the mistakes I made was you gotta control. And I say this on stage. You gotta control your emotions, because one minute you're like what? No, what? You, and the next minute you blink, and the next thing you know you're being tased by police. That's and because of that, me not controlling my emotions, that led me into I did some jail time. Right. I was supposed to do 7 years, turned into 4 months, God willing, 3 weeks.
Which is I mean, it's and let's just talk about that really quick, because one, I'm glad that you were able to walk and go to jail. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which is such a weird thing to say, but with the way that police are treating black men, You know, like it could, because like that's like the last thing that you need to see is fucking like someone that you know, and like I know people see this on a daily basis of where, you know, like it's like the family members and people that they know have been killed by the police. But
let me tell you, I've got a lot of, when people found out, this is when, because at this point in my life, I was just like, man, nobody cares about me. You know,
Right.
A lot of comedians, I'm not gonna say a lot, a few comedians, when they found out what happened, were angry at me because they were just like what you said. Cops are killing black men for nothing.
Right.
Here it is. You're tussling with the cops. You know, you're tussling with them. So with that being said, because like I said, I blacked out. You know, so
Right.
I mean, what I mean by blacked out is just like I've just like leave me alone, and I should have just listened. I should have just listened to what they said. So with that being said, that was a mistake that I own up to.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know, I got to go to you know, have to go do my time and get that over with. What I will say is, this is the crazy part. Jail probably was the best thing for me. And the reason why I say that is when when you're as a comedian, right? When you're out, you ever see a lot of comedians, every comedian gets that bitter factor that happens to them.
Right.
Right? And what happens is that's because you're on your phone. And you're scrolling through Instagram and you're seeing people get opportunities and you're sitting back and you're like, oh, you know, what like when's my next and you're saying where's this opportunities gonna come, and you have these opportunities in front of you, right? So okay, for me, when I went into jail, I didn't have no Instagram. I remember the first day I went to jail, I reached under the bed and I was like, somebody stole my phone? And I'm like, oh, I don't have a phone.
Yeah, I'm locked up.
I'm locked up for 3 weeks.
It's a long time with no phone.
No phone.
Yeah.
No phone. And I don't know what's going on out there. And a lot of people be like, this is the funny part. A lot of people be like, man, you was only in there for, because there was literally people I called thinking I was going to do 4 months. And I felt like before they hung the phone, I called like, hey, I'm out. You know, but people don't understand. Listen, anybody will tell you a day is long.
Right.
3 weeks is long. 3 weeks is long,
I
man.
could only imagine, you know, I mean, Lord, please don't ever let me land in jail. But like, it's something that, because I feel like you just, all you have is time in there. That's all you have.
All you have is time. All you have is time, and basically, you know, for me, I got a notebook. I'm gonna tell you, this is the funniest thing. This is where my joke structure changed. I got a notebook, right?
Yeah.
That's the same old story. You go to jail, you just write. I'm writing jokes.
Right.
I'm writing jokes about the jail, and I'm just writing these jokes, and nothing's happened yet. This is like the second or third day, and I'm writing these jokes about jail, like, oh, I'm gonna do this shank joke, and I'm gonna do this joke, and I'm gonna do this joke, because, you know, as comedians, we have to prepare jokes.
Right.
So what happens is, okay, one day in one of my anger management classes they give you in jail, I'm in there drawing, and I'm drawing the teacher, and the teacher walks over, she gets mad, and she says, are you drawing me? And I'm like, yeah. You know, I'm not gonna lie to her already.
Yeah.
So she picks my notebook up and she goes to the goals section, and it says comedian. She says, are you a comedian? I don't want to say I do comedy, because like I said, I'm in there with some people that
Killers.
Killers.
Yeah.
So she goes, why don't you go up there? Let me see. This is to be the hardest crowd you ever had. I go up there and I start telling stories about just talking. Like, I had no set. Like, I went up there and started talking.
Right.
I got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And I remember after that, every time I was now the other 6 shows came from people just being like, okay, yo, man, he a comedian.
Right.
Hey, fool, come here and perform for us. Perform. I performed in the thing they call the cage, not the cage, the tank. I'm performing in the tank with some dude that looks like he'll snap my neck in two, and they're dying laughing. And one of the dudes,
were you ever afraid to like bomb though? You know,
I did,
you know what I mean?
no,
Because like, if you say something wrong, if you say something bad, like,
you know what's crazy? At this point, I'm only telling them what I went through. Okay. I'm telling them about being a retired stepdad.
Right.
You know,
right,
I'm no longer I'm retired.
Yeah.
I'm out of the game.
Yeah.
I tell them about being a retired stepdad. I'm telling them about me losing my mind and ending up in here. I'm telling them about how I'm being treated.
Right.
And they can all relate to it.
Right.
Because you gotta remember, these guys are once outside and they're inside, and they bust out laughing. So what happens is, when I finally get out of jail, one of my good friends, really good, she's like a sister for me, Shantae Waynes. I was supposed to do this show with her, but when I had turned myself in, I told her I couldn't do it. I don't know if I'm coming out or not.
Right.
When I got out, she was like, man, bro, I don't know if I could put you on the show. I already got the lineup. I don't know what happened. Flapper sent me an email. Nick Carthan, would you like to do this show? Shantae Wayne. Shantae gets me on the show. I don't know what I want to talk about.
Right.
Right? All I remember was this Crip dude in my head that was just like, yo, don't tell no jokes. Just talk that stuff that you told us.
Right.
I went on there, and the first thing I did, this is not even a set, I just told my jail experience. Then I told my stepdad experience, and boom.
Yeah.
The crowds love it. And it's like, and I'm like, yo, you know what, man? I've always been telling people stories for years. I'm just like, this is what it is. This is changing right here. This is what I needed to do. So now, that's what I do, man. And a lot of times, a lot of people, like, you know, if you notice in the interview, a lot of times when people, like, when I be doing my set, comedians watch it, and they be like, okay, he's about to go in on the situation. I'm not gonna do that, because for what? You know, like, my whole thing is, you own up to what you did, and I'm not gonna be negative on it, because at the end of the day, sometimes when I watch comedy, I see comedians, and that's their story. They, you know, they got divorced, they be on there, they be going in, you know, and I'm just like, what am I going in for? You know what I mean? I'm living, right? I'm out.
Yeah.
I got my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. I didn't see my daughter for 6 months at one point. So, like, you know,
that's tough.
That's tough. So, you know, and that's let me tell you something. I went from my daughter to saying 2 words to this girl having full-blown conversation. It's mind-blowing. It's crazy. You know, it's mind-blowing. This is the crazy part. So we're in the park. Took my daughter to the park yesterday, right? And my daughter's 3 years old, and she tried to play with the 7-year-old girl. She's like, "Hey, you want to play with me?" And the 7-year-old girl was like, "I would love to, but you're black, so I can't." Right?
Wow.
So I'm like, "Wow, racism at 3." My daughter goes. Before I could go talk to the parent, my daughter goes, so you mad because you don't look like me? It's okay, and laughs and walks off. And I was like, "Wow, like, who is this kid? Is this?" You know what I mean? And so. Wow. I mean, and that's a story right there. Like, so it's like, I'm just like, okay, cool, man. But yeah, a lot of, so that, you know, fast forward, that's all the things that happened. You know, a lot of people didn't know. And you know, if there's a message to go at anybody, man, never, you know, when you come out to LA, the best thing you can do is know who you are, you know, know your goals. And, you know, the next thing is be focused. You know what I'm saying? Because
it's easy to lose focus.
It's easy to lose focus. Like, look, listen, man. You tell somebody you want a Flappers conference, some people be like, what is that? Because that competition really hold no weight anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I mean, to certain people. So it's like, for me, I was above. I was losing my mind. You know. So to see all that go and all that, I was just like, yo, you know what, man? You gotta keep pushing. Yeah. You gotta keep pushing.
So and you've because I've seen that you're doing a lot of shows with Shantae, and you guys like have been traveling too, right?
The first traveling show we're gonna do is we're going back home. We're going to New York. Okay. August 28th at Gotham City Comedy Club. She's headlining a Lady with Balls tour. Isaiah Kelly's the host, another New York comedian. Nice, yeah. So we're going back home, and this is perfect because I'm going back home, and all my family is gonna, you know, this is a brand new set from the last time I was out there from a year and a half ago. Yeah. So and
there's a lot to talk about.
It's a lot to talk about. It's a lot. And the crazy part is my mom, she just like, I told my mom, I talk about this stuff on stage. Right. Because my mom was at the point where she's just like, do not talk about this. Like, I don't want it's people that does it. I'm like, Mom, listen. This is my story. Yeah. I gotta talk about it. Yeah. You know, I can't be ashamed by any of it. People ask me, listen, you know, as far as my ex-wife goes, you know, she's gonna be a star. Yeah. She's gonna win. So I'm happy for her. She wins. The person that wins out of this will be my 3-year-old. both her parents will be successful in their own ways. That's all she needs to see. She doesn't need to see all the other, like I said. It was on my part, mistakes were made. I learned. You live and you learn from them.
Is it? Let me ask you this. Is it weird, like, seeing her out? Like, have you guys, like?
I'm not supposed to see.
Right? You're not supposed to.
Like, but no.
Right.
But no.
Well, I mean, and not even like even seeing her physically, but because like that she does shows and she's like still like moving.
You know what's dope. It's kind of crazy. This is the story, right? This is what's weird. When we moved out here, how comedy goes, we kind of was going in two separate directions stand-up wise. Anyway, I hate to say this, but like the clubs that would book her. Like look, the club that showed me the most love, hands down. People be like, man, it's Flappers.
Yeah,
I do Flappers. I'm always at Flappers or whatever independent shows I could go, or whatever shows Shantae has, or any other comedian. Flappers.
Yeah,
so we don't really run into each other like that at all. We don't run into each other. It's not gonna. And if we did run into each other, because it's going to happen.
Yeah, like it's going to happen eventually, because like the comedy world, like it's big, but it's still very small.
I want to do it only because I feel like I just want to see the faces of people. Like, I feel like people are gonna be like,
Right.
yo, and it's not that. It's not like people don't even know we're not enemies. We're not enemies. Right. We went through a situation. It happens. It's life.
Now, okay, let me ask you this, because like I know people are probably like wondering and like asking or thinking these questions. When are you gonna start dating again?
No time. I'm focused right now.
Now,
right now, honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I have to go into right now. I'm in like, honestly, I'm gonna be real with you right now, man. I gotta start from the bottom up. Yeah. And I'm talking about like not just comedy, but like life wise. So it's like, I just have to be happy that I'm still out here. I'm happy that I have people in my life that help me out to make sure I'm in a good situation. I got a place to live. Before I found a place to live, man, I had some great comedians, man. Chaz, Chaz Rogers.
Yeah.
Bro, Tony Baker, those two dudes took me in. Didn't have to. I never in a million years expected me to be there with those two. And listen, I'm gonna tell you, like, you learn from you get put in a situation where you get to learn from people, man, and learn from Chaz and Tony. First of all, Chaz, Sky, I don't know if you heard his story. But Chaz, nothing I can tell him amazes him, because he's been through this. He's been through this already.
He has.
He's been through it. And to see, if you see what Chaz is doing right now, this guy's amazing.
No, Chaz was on the show. You guys can go check out that interview as well.
On iTunes, I guess, too, right?
Yeah, you can check that out on iTunes. Yeah.
And then Tony Baker, man, like, watching this guy work. I don't know if you watch basketball, but like, I remember when Team USA, the Redeem team, went out to the Olympics, right?
Right.
And Kobe was on that team.
Yeah.
And LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony came back, and all they kept talking about was like, we watched Kobe. Yeah. And this guy is a beast. Like, he changed their games, their work ethic. Right. Let me tell you something, man. I did this. Tony took me to the show with him. It was at Colors Comedy.
Okay. Yeah.
And I kid you not, this is how I saw it, right? Tony Baker is on stage at Colors. He goes first, right? So they call him up. They're playing this song, DNA.
Okay.
By Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
What's the name of Kendrick Lamar's album?
Damn,
right? Tony goes on stage. The crowd's bopping for him. He's talking to the DJ. He's not even talking to the crowd yet, right? He goes, "What song is that? DNA?" He was like, "Man, that song makes you want to go damn." And the crowd explodes, right? Tony looks at the crowd and he's freeze phrase. I don't know if you watched Dragon Ball Z, but it was like it was an aura around this dude. Right. And then when Tony, like, he started moving his hands to the crowd, and I felt like he was just chopping the crowd alive. Yeah. And it was like he was making a salad. This crowd was eating out of his hands, bro. Yeah. And this is what's funny. A comedian walks over to me while Tony's on stage, just like a movie. He goes like this. He's the greatest to ever do it. And then walks away. And I'm like, but I say that to say, in a competitive sport that we in, Watching Tony, I said, yo, I'm not doing enough because yo, the guy staying there, the guy never rested. He's in and out, he's in and out, in and out, in and out, and I was like, yo, you know what? What am I doing?
Right.
So a relationship is not what I need right now. I have to strictly just do comedy.
Okay.
I gotta do comedy. I gotta work. I do my work. I do my work in the morning. I do a little bit of training, and I do my comedy. Comedy. I'm working on some stuff now, and that's just it, man.
That's good. That's good. Okay, but now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When she starts dating, is that
you know what's crazy?
Be weird for you?
I'm kind of already. What's the word? I'm already look. That's on
because it's going to happen.
It's going to.
You gotta like prepare yourself for it.
A lot of people don't know this, but it's been a year. It's been a year we were separated. It's been a year.
Which is a long time, but it's still like not a long time.
It's not a long time.
You know what I mean?
All right, let me. I put
especially
you like,
let me say it's like especially like when you like been with someone and you have a kid. You know what I mean? So it's like that there's like a little more on it.
You know what it is? I've processed in my head already. It's been that's why it's for me. It's just like I already in my mind thinking you're already doing that.
Right.
So honestly, I can't. There's nothing I could.
Well, right.
There's nothing you could. Cause a lot of people feel like I'm gonna be like, what the.
Right.
Too much has happened, man. Like honestly, too much happened. Too much has happened. Not to say too much negative, but it's too much. Like some things happen. Some things you learn from those lessons.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have a blindfold to that too. Because if you literally see how I live now, man, like I go to work, come home, I write. I go to I build around. I'm talking to the people that I need to speak to do what I need to do. Yeah. So like that's just nothing. Yeah, that's just nothing that I even think about or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it is.
No, I get which is good, but these are questions I have to ask.
No. I want the question. You know why? I want these questions to be asked. Because I know other people quickly can put this link up,
right?
So right. Answers, because like I said, it's so many people and in so many words, I haven't been negative at all. My thing is I wanted to get that out the way, so I could talk about the good things. Because while everybody was asking me about the negative things, before I turned myself in to jail, I had 3 months before I did it. I was doing shows. I was doing shows with Shantae. I did Levity Live with her. I did some shows at Flappers. I did some, I did a lot of stuff, and now I'm able to get back on that horse again and ride it. So I'm like, I'm on this show. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the focus now. And I want people to see that, just to be like, okay, this guy, because I don't know what it is.
Because he got derailed a little bit, but he's back on track.
Got back on track. And I felt like people felt like they don't know what state of mind Nick was in.
Right.
So, because I'm hitting people like, let me tell you, I hit up a booker, and this was the craziest part. I hit up a booker, then I got taken off the show.
Then you got taken
off the show. I come to find out she was on the show.
Okay.
This is what was sad about it. I was like, what do you expect is going to happen? Right. What do y'all think? I was like, what do y'all think is gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think's gonna happen? Nothing's gonna happen. Right. I'm just there to tell my jokes and leave.
Right, but it's probably just that they don't want that awkward moment. Like they don't want that, and then being a facilitator of that. You know what I mean?
So I get it. I honestly, that. So let me put this like things that help me with the situation. I read Kevin's book. I don't know if you read it.
I haven't read it yet. No.
I bought the book, but I don't like reading too much. So I bought the book to support, but I got the audio book.
Okay.
The audio book,
whole lot easier. Audio books
whole lot easier. But this
great.
book is dope because he talks. He talks in this book. Man, if you hear the things I tell comedians, I say this to comedians right now. There's things relationship wise that he answers for everyone. If you have that bitterness, it's in the book. If you have that, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, it's in the book. Relationship wise, that helped me 100%.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're like you're looking at yourself. You don't know if you're gonna be accepted, this, that, and the other. And it's like that book was just dope. And then, like I said, the album, Meek's album. Meek took a big loss.
Big loss.
He took two. He got destroyed by Drake.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he got the Nicki Minaj breakup.
Yeah.
And then she ended up taking pictures with Drake after. Right.
Yeah.
I saw an interview on Hot 97. And he straight up said it. He said, I mean, the Drake situation, that was my fault. That's to be fixed. And he was just like, that situation with her, he was like, it's life. I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta keep making money. So,
I mean, because like Meek isn't a fighter. He's like, he makes hits. Like he makes great music, But I'm gonna tell you what's great about that. When I don't know what it is about social media, or what it is about the
people.
Devil.
It's the
Social
devil,
media
right?
is the devil.
When people, relationship-wise, when people like lose relationships or breakups, automatically people start thinking your music is whack or your craft is whack. That's nothing. Craft and your relationship is two different things.
Right.
So people start looking at it like, oh, he fell off, he sucks.
Yeah.
Then you know what you got to do? Once people see that you don't care, that's when they're like, oh, all right, we not those rocks we threw don't work.
Yeah, he's out here still hitting. So what would you say have always been like the biggest lesson that you've learned through all of this, comedy wise too, and just kind of life comedy wise, like what has been the biggest like nugget?
Focus. You gotta focus, man. And I haven't looked. I didn't make it, but you have to focus because we live in a day and age right now where it's not like 10 years ago where comedians had to walk above and beyond. Like some of the comedian stories you hear, like Such an Entertainer and them going on the road and they're saying the heck with other. Yeah. Now comedy is set up to where you could actually do your own thing and make it, and you gotta focus. If you believe in it, don't take no no's. Look, there's a lot of people that don't like what you do. A lot of people don't like what some of us do. And there's gonna be people that do like what you do. Yeah. Focus on those people that you do know like what you do, and never get too above yourself. You need a humbling situation. My situation was 100% humbling. Because it taught me a lot. I'm gonna tell you. For me, that situation took people out of my corner that shouldn't have been there. Right? You think you got people. It brought people in closer. Like I said, Shantae. We were already close, but that brought us closer. Like she was very, very in tune with, what I'm saying? Like she was very helpful, right. And still dropping gems and still, pushing me to do it. If it wasn't for her not doing the show, cause I was done. I was like, I'm not gonna do comedy no more.
Wow.
After that, because what
you were just done with comedy, period.
Because what happened was when that happened, right? When all that happened, and so many people were in, when stuff got and so many people got involved, it was embarrassing for me to the point where I was just like, and then here was a surprising thing. You have a comedian like Sidney Castillo call me up and be like, "What are you doing? You getting up?" And I'm like, "What? Do you know what? Are you getting up?"
Right.
Okay, cool. Shantae, so you hitting the stage? Okay, do you know what? Are you hitting the stage?
Right.
Just Tony, what are you doing? Tony, what are you doing? You wasting time out here. And when you hear all of that, you hear all of those things, you're like, you know what, man? Get up, put your pants on, and go ahead and make your mark, man, and go ahead and do what you got to do. Life moves on, and that's about it.
Very true.
Yeah, it goes on.
Very true. What would you give as like a nugget to someone who is going through a situation like this, or someone who's like thinking about comedy, or someone who just life is just like hitting them and they're like, I don't know if I want to even follow my dream?
It's crazy. I texted a comic today. It's funny you said that, right? I texted a comic today. I said, I texted Naeem today. Yeah. And I said to him, hey man, you ever had a point where you wanted to break, and what did you do? And I don't know if you know him, but he's just straight to the point. I don't know what giving up is. Just focus. And that's it.
And that was it.
Don't know what and that's the truth.
Yeah.
I just texted that before, and it's crazy because it's like you can't, to anybody, it's just the thing, man. And you know, this is, a lot of people thought when everything happened I was gonna move back to New York. First of all, I can't do that. 3 reasons I can't do that. I can't do that because of situations. I can't do that because I have my daughter. I'm not gonna do that because my daughter's out here, and I didn't move out here
to go back
to do comedy because of my marriage. I moved out here to do comedy for me,
right,
as well. So me moving out here to do comedy, just do stand up. I think I owe it to myself to get this, to kind of get this done. You know, kind of
at least see it through.
At least see it through, because I told myself before this. I said to myself, you know, I think there's 3 type of people out there in the world. There's 2. You got dreamers. You got people that have dreams. There's 2 dreamers, and then you have regular people. What I mean by regular people is there are people out there that have a little dream in their head. They're like, I want to be a comic. I want to be a rapper, right? And then 9 out of 10, they be like, man, I'm gonna go get this job, go get these benefits, right?
Settle for.
I'm gonna get a wife, get the car, and get a career, and move in my house, and those
Which
people,
is fine.
and they're fine. They're fine.
Yeah.
Then you have the other dreamer, right? This is the second dreamer. You have the second dreamer that wants to do these things, tries it out, right? Tries it a little bit, stops, gets the career and the job or whatever, right? And then they're home watching comedians on TV, and it's like that basketball player, and they're like, you know, I could have did that. Right. That's the comedian. That's the person that's not fulfilled. Then you have the third dreamer that could go either way. There's the dreamer that could be dreamed himself right into bankruptcy, into living in the park. Yeah. And then there's the dreamer that's gonna get it done by any means necessary. Yeah. You know, like right now, my whole thing is this. All this stuff happened for a reason. There's no giving up, man, no matter what it is. So I got my plan, and my plan is like, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there, man. It's too much stuff happening for a reason. I'm walking down the street. This is crazy. I'm walking down the street on my about to take the bus, and I look at this poster, and I see Girls Trip. And when I moved out here, I met Tiffany Haddish 5 years ago, right? And to see that on the poster, and then they made 28 million, 30 million. Yeah. And to hear the story that she told, like, come on, man.
Tiffany's killing it right now.
She's killing it. That is killing it. It's like, to hear that, to see that story, it's happening. Yeah. It's happening. It could happen you got to just put the amount of work in that she's supposed to put in, you know, and that's what I got to do. So, yeah.
So, where can people see you live next?
All right, so August 6th, I will be at Flappers at the pop-up comedy show hosted by Sataris. Nice. That will be, it's me, Taquita Love, I don't remember the other comedian's name, and Kevin Tate's the headliner. Nope. And then August 12th, I'll be at the Ice House Jeff Hodge show in Pasadena. Nice. And then going back home to New York.
28th, right? It's August
28th, and I'm doing Gotham City Comedy Club. Looking at the camera. Nice. Gotham City Comedy Club. Shantae Waynes is the headliner. Isaiah Kelly is the host, and we are tickets are online. I have the link in my Instagram, which is at Nick_Carthan, Carthan. The link is there. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Tickets are $20 reserved now because we got the phone call. And those tickets are going fast. I mean, they're going fast. You gotta understand. There's 3 comics from New York that live out here. Yeah. A lot of people haven't seen us in a while. This is going to be big. So like, it's going to.
You guys should film it.
You know what's crazy?
Film the journey, like going to the show. Film the show, and like you should film it.
That's what I like. That I'm gonna run that by her because I think that should be done. Because this is gonna I know it's big for her. I know it's very, but it's for me. It's very, very big because I go home. Once again, I go home with these stories, and like I said, this new set, I am very excited about. I'm not just saying it because on the show. I'm very excited about it because it's not like because like I don't know if you know we run out of time.
We're just about.
Okay. Well, it's good.
Listen, if you haven't seen Nick, check him out live. Check him out on his social media. Twitter is at Nick Carthan.
At Nick Carthan.
Instagram is
at Nick_Carthan. And Facebook is Anthony Nick Carthan.
Or just Google.
Just Google
Nick Carthan.
Yeah, or you just type, put comedian Nick Carthan, because for some reason this white guy with a Gohan haircut pops up.
Okay.
You know.
So Google black comedian Nick Carthan, and that's...
You don't have to type black comedian. You put comedian Nick Carthan. I know I've got real black in this heat, but
either way.
Either way.
Click on the black guy. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you guys for watching. Of course, you can see me all over the internet. Find me, stalk me all over the internet at the Nick Perdue and the Nick Perdue 2. Until next time, we'll see you soon.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.